Hi everybody, welcome back on Study Room and I am your geography educator. So today we are going to learn about minerals and energy resources, chapter 5. Alright, so you see this video. This video gives you a glimpse of what is a mineral. So geologists say that minerals are homogeneous, naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure. All right. So they can be found. They can be found in varied, lustrous. That is shining. So their luster can be of various types. Their color can be different for different minerals. So you see a kind of mineral. Mineral is, as geologists discussed. All right. So now we are moving to the activity. Find out how many minerals are used to make a light bulb. There are n number of minerals, but you have to find out about them. Collect nutritional facts printed on food labels around you. You can easily do that. So now we are coming to rocks. What are rocks? Over 2000 minerals have been identified, but only a few are abundantly found in most of the rocks. Rocks are combination of the minerals. All right, and majority of rock consist several minerals, but only minority of them contain only one significant or specific mineral. All right, so we have learned a lot about rocks now. Moving on, there are mode of occurrences of minerals. So there is ore. Ore is an accumulation of mineral fixed with other elements. So minerals are extracted from ore. So you all have already heard about iron ores. So these are the natural habitat, you can say, where iron is easily found, but it is mixed with several other minerals and elements and all. So now they are extracted from ores if their concentration is sufficient to make extraction commercially viable. Now we have to understand types of mineral formations. So minerals can be formed like from igneous and metamorphic rocks that you have already discussed in class 7th geography. Veins and lodes in igneous and metamorphic rocks gives the sources of minerals. Then comes beds or layers in sedimentary rocks. So in this way we cover all three rocks: igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. Then comes your decomposition of surface rocks. So sometimes they decompose. From there also you can get minerals, or alluvial or placer deposits. Placer refers to regional, flat. All right. So they are also found in ocean water and beds. So these are ores. So you see, the kind of mining and digging is done in ores. All right, and these are very suffocated places because you can see they are underground and there is no space to breathe sometimes, and sometimes even workers die in these hazardous environment. Classification of minerals now we are going to study. So minerals are classified into metallic, non-metallic. Metallic, as the name suggests, they would have metals. Non-metallic, absence of metals, and energy. Energy we are going to do in later videos, but today we are going to discuss about ferrous and non-ferrous, precious. Like ferrous refers to metals which contain iron. Non-metals are precious metals. Let's discuss about them. So ferrous minerals. Ferrous minerals account for about 75, that is 3 by 4 of total value of production of metallic minerals, mineral containing metals. So ferrous minerals in India are found through iron ores. Alright, okay. Iron ores and manganese. These are the two important sources through which ferrous minerals are found. Iron ore. In iron ore, magnetite is the finest iron ore which has high iron content up to 70%. So magnetite is the highest. Then comes your hematite. Alright, hematite ore, an important industrial iron ore. So it is used for industrial purposes with slightly lower iron content, that is 50% to 60%. It would is easily accommodated in it. Just have a look at this video. Alright, so you all can have an idea how things are separated, how they are separated, extracted from ores, and how they are utilized, and how magnetite is different from hematite. What are the iron or their percentage in it? Alright, so 50 to 60% in hematite, while 80 to 90 to sometimes 100%. So this happens. Now we are discussing about a very important that might come for your map work also, major iron ore belts of India. It is Durgabastar Chandrapur belt, Bellari Chitradurga Chikmagalur Tumkur belt. This is also very important. And then comes your Maharashtra, Goa, and India's Odisha, Jharkhand. You cannot forget, because Odisha, as we all know, that Odisha is very prominent when it comes to iron. They produce, they are the number one producer in India. Alright. So you can see Odisha alone constitute 50 to 52%. Alright, then comes your Jharkhand, then Durgavastar Chandrapur or Bellari Chitradurga Chikmagalur Tumkur belt. Then Karnataka, then Chhattisgarh, and then others combined. Alright. Then we are talking about manganese. We have already talked about how are iron ore belts. Now manganese. Manganese is mainly used for manufacturing of steel and ferromanganese alloy. What are they produced? That can come because Bellary, Chitradurga, Chikmagalur can come for your map work. But this, what are the usage of, in which industries manganese is used? Steel and ferromanganese alloy. And production is highest in Madhya Pradesh. Then comes Maharashtra. Here Odisha is somewhat weaker, but still 25% it constitutes. Alright, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and others. Alright, we are all clear with it. Okay. Then comes non-ferrous minerals. They have copper. Copper does not have iron, no. Copper and bauxite play a vital role in number of metallurgical, engineering, and electrical industries. Copper, it is very used in electrical wires. You must have seen in your houses also. So copper is used in electrical wires, cables, and it is used in electronic industries. You can see a bauxite ore here. All right. So yeah, we have already discussed about copper. The Balaghat mines in Madhya Pradesh, as we have seen, number one non-ferrous and manganese also. So Madhya Pradesh is very number one in it. Balaghat mines, Khetri mines in Rajasthan. Khetri village is also very famous for environmental purposes. But Khetri mines in Rajasthan, Singhamam district of Jharkhand are leading producer of copper. All right. So you see how Jharkhand, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh are very important for copper. Then comes your bauxite production. Odisha again, the champion of champions. Number one. Then Gujarat, then Jharkhand, then Chhattisgarh, then Maharashtra, then others. So you don't see MP over here. Madhya Pradesh is not the bauxite producer. Alright. So India's leading bauxite producer is Odisha. Bauxite is vital in the extraction of aluminium. This is a very important point. You all should know. What is the utility of bauxite? It is for producing aluminium. Panchpatmali deposits are the most important bauxite deposits in Odisha. Alright. Then comes the non-metallic minerals like mica. Mica, so you can see how many sheets. So it is made up of series of plates or leaves or sheets, we can say. It splits easily into thin leaves, and it can be of various color. It can be without color also, like can be clear, black, green, yellow, brown. Say name and it will be like that. You can find mica in all colors, almost all colors, not all colors. So mica is one of the most indispensable minerals in the electric and electronic industries, found in Chota Nagpur Plateau, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh. All right. Then comes your limestone. Limestone production is more in Rajasthan, but there is only slight differences in all. Except Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh are almost same, are equally same, you can see. Chhattisgarh and Karnataka are same. Then your Gujarat and Tamil Nadu are same. And then others, I guess. So limestone is found in sedimentary rocks. That is the basic. You all should remember. You when you have studied sedimentary rock, you would definitely give examples of limestone only. It composed of calcium carbonate CaCO3 or calcium and magnesium carbonate. That I'm not very sure of, so let's just not have it here. But calcium and magnesium carbonate. Alright, so this is limestone production. The year is 2016 to 17, so it is very current data and you all should have hold over it. So did we miss anything over here? I guess so. Alright. Now we are going to study about distribution of minerals in India. So study the map and explain why Chota Nagpur is a storehouse of minerals. You can see Chota Nagpur is triangular in shape. You can see how visible it is. Alright. So there are so many minerals over in these belts. So that is why it is called storehouse of minerals. And you can quote like different iron ore belts. Even Madhya Pradesh is for, I guess, bauxite and all. So you can state all these facts that we have discussed in the previous slides, and thus you will have a long answer in it and you will be able to do it very easily. Now we're talking about hazards of mining. I've already discussed because of hazardous condition they are working. They are working underground and sometimes toxic pollutants, grilling and drilling is done, and that small particles could could people working there would breathe it, and that's how they would have respiratory diseases and many other diseases, and they might get exposed to threats, and they might even die and uh, lose their health in order to work there. So stricter safety guidelines and environmental laws are essential to prevent the mining from becoming a killer industries. And mining has killed young people also. Young as 18-year-old get exploited in this industry. So it is very hazardous. That is why mining is one of the hazardous industries. And when we talk about child labor and all that, so they are strictly, children are strictly prohibited to not enter in this industry, because this is very hazardous. This plays with the entire future of that individual. All right. Now we are here, conservation of minerals and energy resources. So, what is the need of conservation of resources? Why do we need to restore them, or we need to conserve them? The total workable mineral deposits are just 1% of the Earth's crust. That is the important factor, that why we need to save them. And formation of mineral occurs over millions of years. So we cannot wait. One generation cannot wait for millions of years. Our lifespan is very small and very short according to the lifespan of these minerals. And increasing cost of extraction. So big machine, big industries are set up for extracting minerals. These are the reasons. Now this is an activity. Make a list of items which substitutes are being used instead of minerals. Sometimes plastic is also used. But there are specific substitutes that you have to make the list. And what are these substitutes obtained from? So these are the activities done by you, and you all should make a list, but this won't come in your examination. Examination point of view, map work is very important in this. Chota Nagpur Plateau, they'll tell you why it is, they'll tell you to locate it and tell why it is the storehouse of resources and storehouses of minerals. So today we have learned about what are minerals, what are rocks, and where are how these minerals are classified, metallic, uh, non-metallic, and energy resources. So we have talked about each one of them. All right. So we have ferrous and non-ferrous components as well. Copper, bauxite, mica, limestone. That all we have discussed, and that is all you need to know about mineral and energy resources. With this, I'm ending this video, and we'll connect again in the next video on study room. Stay tuned and be happy. Take care and study and go through the videos again for better conceptual clarity. All right. Thank you all.